Hey everyone, Josh here. Today we're going to be discussing something that has been bugging me
and mostly the entire gaming community.
ever since the Nintendo Switch has released back in 2017. And I'm not talking about the Joy-Con drift because, well, that's pretty obvious. I'm of course talking about how most video game companies nowadays charge a little more than they need to for, their properties like the games and the consoles and such. And I'm also here to talk about the, potential bad future for game pricing because, video games nowadays are $60 to $70. So if that's the case now, you can only imagine how much games are going to be worth in the future. So that's what we're here to talk about today. Gonna try and make it as short and sweet as possible, but don't promise me. No promises here at all. So this has pretty much been a problem for a very long time. It didn't just occur when the Switch released. It's been happening for several years where, companies, mostly Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, and some other ones as well, they just tend to charge way too much money for video games nowadays. And I'm sure for a lot of other products as well, but we're mostly going to be talking about gaming. Just recently, we had the new Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom, which was a whopping $70. And I believe that was one of the first times Nintendo's ever charged extra for games. And with how well the game is doing now, it kind of concerns me because this could be a thing that they could do for future Switch releases and not just for this game. So, before it was already stupid enough how he had to spend $60 for games. And of course, I guess it kind of makes sense for, Tears of the Kingdom because, it's a more jam-packed game. It's, very lively and stuff like that. But I don't really think they have much of a reason to charge this game as for, what it's worth. Because I feel $70 would, be a little too out of hand because I know for a fact there are several kids out there who haven't been able to get the game when it launched. Some could argue for different reasons, like, their parents being too stingy, or, their kids weren't behaving and they didn't buy the game, that kind of stuff. But I guarantee you, for the most part, it was because their parents really did not feel like spending $70 on a game. Or, for the kids, if they, for whatever reason, happen to have $70, they didn't really feel like spending it on the game. And you can't really blame them for it, can you? And it was just brought to my attention that apparently Sega wants to charge $70 for some of their games in the near future. And from the looks of it, a lot of people were not on board with that idea. If you know how Sega has been for the past few years, you would know that literally none of their games are worth that price. Just imagine spending $70 on Sonic Lost World or Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. Yeah, that's a pass, for me at least. And this could be the same case for games in the future, because who knows what games will be worth from here on out. Seriously, why do games nowadays need to require an unnecessary amount of money just to play them? I know they obviously put a lot of love and care, not for every game, but still, this is just really unnecessary. If I'm gonna be spending all that money on just a video game, it has to have a lot of thought put into it and just, be very well designed and everything, which could be the case for some games, but for gaming, for how it has been nowadays, not every game is going to be, worth that kind of money. We have to expect something above average if they're demanding that kind of price. No video game nowadays is worth the price 70 or above, especially if it's made by the company that has the name Xbox or PlayStation. I will say this, it hasn't been 100% confirmed that companies will go this direction nowadays, but I'm concerned this could be the case. Games were only $50 back in the 2000s, I believe, and now they're $60. So from here on out, just who knows how much it'll be. And I'm afraid they're going to follow in the same steps as Tears of the Kingdom because, since this game is doing very well at the moment, other companies and, other games could follow in this direction as well. Nobody should be following anyone's footsteps just because, Tears of the Kingdom launched. If you game companies really want me to go all my way with, spending $70 on just a cartridge or a disc or whatever, it has to be worth it. Seriously, actually worth it. The game should not have any problems, Any bugs, no glitches whatsoever. I mean, it's impossible for a game not to have any glitches. So, there's that. If this is how things are going to be for gaming in the near future, then it'll be a while before I ever decide to pick up a video game controller again. And like I said, yesterday someone made a tweet of, Sega possibly making their games $70 in the future, but that's probably not a good idea, like I said earlier, because with Sega being Sega, the company that always, not always, but most of the time makes bad decisions that they kind of don't really learn from, that's not really going to be a good idea. Same could be said for Nintendo, because sometimes they just randomly make games and just put it on Switch that certainly aren't worth the prices they're budging for. And in this case, it's not just the pricing that's rising, it's the company's ego that is also reaching to new heights as well. It almost makes you want to wait like several years for the price to drop down and not pay all that cash, but we're gamers, so we can't do that. But if they're really going to go out their way to make the games worth more than they are, then that's not only highway robbery, it's highway bankruptcy. 7 years from now, just imagine how much things are going to be worth then. You almost don't even want to think about it. Good luck trying to sleep tonight with that info in your head. The same could be said for video game consoles as well. I mean, just look at the PS5 and Series X. Might as well include the OLED Switch because they made it extra $50 despite it being almost exactly the same, and it still has Joy-Con drift. You could possibly be in big trouble if this is going to be the case for video game pricing from here on out. But what can we do? So, who knows what'll happen? At the end of the day, we're probably still going to end up buying the damn things anyway, so what difference does it make? Well, I guess that's all I gotta say. Just wanted to discuss this because, not a lot of people were really going deep into it, but I guess I'm the first. But what do you guys think? And what do you think games should be worth these days? Definitely not 60 or 70, but I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. Alright, well that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.